Good evening to the Honorable Speaker and all the participants. Professor Moni Banerjee was a renowned personality with his immense contribution towards growth and application of technology in leather and allied industry. He was a man of long vision who has taken keen interest in forming Indian Leather Technologists Association as founder secretary and established bachelor degree in leather science and technology as principal in the first college of leather technology in India. He was a man of principle. We are here today to pay our respect to him and his contributions by organizing a memorial lecture and giving awards in his memory. To start with, and to elaborate the contributions of our beloved Professor Moni Banerjee, I will request our Honorable President Sri Arnab Jha to welcome today's Honorable Speaker and this Dr. H. Bhomik and the participants of today's event. Mr. Jha, please.
Good evening, Professor Dr. H.P. Bhomik, ex-principal, Government College of Engineering and Leather Technology, Mr. Susanta Mallick, General Secretary, ILTA, members of ILTA, colleagues, recipient of Moni Banerjee Memorial Award from CFTI Agra, GCELT Hyderabad, CFTC Bajbaj in leather goods and footwear technology, students and friends, ladies and gentlemen, I, on behalf of the Executive Committee of ILTA, heartily welcome you to all to join and participate in the 11th Moni Banerjee Memorial Lecture on his birthday of this great personality to be delivered by Professor H.P. Bhomik, ex-principal, Government College of Engineering and Leather Technology, titled Environmental Awareness in Daily Life. As have been told by our Chief Secretary that our Professor Moni Banerjee was the founder General Secretary of ILTA. Actually, he came back. At that time, there was no such association, and there are hardly any people, few people, those who are literally knowledgeable on this subject. But there are some patrons to help this technology, and there are some technologies, and is the initiative of Moni Banerjee. He formed Leather Technology Association of India in the style of BLMRA, England. And afterwards, it was renamed as Indian Leather Technology Association, to which we all belong to. ILTA used to award toppers on different courses in leather science and footwear technology during different occasions, and today the toppers in diploma in leather science, footwear and leather goods technology from CFTC Bajbaj, West Bengal, CFTI Agra, UP, GCELT Hyderabad will be awarded as a recognition to their achievement. Making leather from animal hides and skins is the first applied technology in the world, as is the first step of protection of environment. It was one of the oldest steps towards protection of environment, and people are working continuously on it from different angles for sustainability. In general, we all human beings are responsible to protect the environment and continuously do the practice for sustainable development of the world for generation of today and to come. Since we all are responsible for damaging the environment, it is most important to all to improve and introduce their environmental awareness. It is important from childhood about the importance of environmental awareness to ensure that the lives of future generations are ensured, and we must equip our child generation with and by different processes and tools necessary to behave in a responsible and informed way. Today's lecture is incidentally going to be delivered by our ex-principal of GCELT in the memory of legendary principal College of Leather Technology, now named as GCELT, on a very important contemporary subject for all. Both have worked and contributed to the country's society on social and environmental issues and so on. I believe we all will enjoy the presentation of Dr. Bhomik, to whom I, on behalf of ILTA, would like to express my sincere thanks for agreeing to spare his valuable time to join the program and delivered the memorial lecture. With this, I close my deliberation and once again welcome you all for the meeting. Thank you. And I say, Mr. General Secretary, to proceed to the next step.
Thank you, Mr. Jha. Now we are going to the first session of this program, that is giving awards to the topper of Diploma in Footwear and Leather Technology. So let me announce the names one by one, and his name, the certificate and the medal will be displayed on the screen accordingly. Mr. Abhishek Goswami, the topper, Diploma in Footwear Design and Manufacture Examination 2021 from CFTI Agra, Uttar Pradesh. Congratulations, Mr. Goswami. Now, next recipient is Mr. Srikant U, the topper, Diploma in Footwear Technology Examination 2021 from GILT, Hyderabad. Congratulations, Mr. Srikant. The next recipient is Mr. Edula Nishant Reddy. He is topper in Diploma in Leather Technology Examination in 2021 from GILT, Hyderabad. Congratulations, Mr. Reddy. The fourth recipient is Miss Suthiti Shatra. She is the topper in Diploma in Leather Goods Technology Examination 2021 from CFTC, Bajbaj, West Bengal. Congratulations, Ms. Shatra. And the last recipient is Ms. Vidisha Datta. She is the topper in Diploma in Footwear Technology Examination 2021 from CFTC, Bajbaj. Congratulations, Ms. Datta. And I think you want to say a few words. So can you speak now, please?
Good evening, everyone. I am extremely delighted and feel honored to be here this evening of 11th Moni Banerjee Memorial Lecture being organized by Indian Leather Technologist Association, ILTA. As a topper in 3 years diploma course of footwear technology held in August 2021 from Central Footwear Training Center, CFTC, Bajbaj. At the onset of my few words being delivered, I would like to pay my gratitude and respect to my honorable teachers, General Secretary of ILTA, Susanta Mallick, learned speaker of lecture session, and the respected members of ILTA who are present here today. I would like to express my gratitude, honor, and regards to the then officer in charge and present principal in charge, Sri Shandip Kumar Bandopadhyay, CFTC Bajbaj, and all other faculty personalities of my beloved college, CFTC Bajbaj, for rendering education duly in my favor. Along with my regards and respect are also bestowed the head of the department, Footwear Technology, CFTC Bajbaj, Sri Shomik Haldar, his continuous guidance during my course of study as added inspiration for my bright success. Many of the toppers from various institutes are also present here this evening as well. I convey my heartiest them for bright future. Finally, regards to my parents for encouraging me always in life with love, regards, and thanks duly to all. Ms. Vidisha Datta, Department of Footwear Technology, FTC, session 2018 to 2021. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Vidisha, for your inspiring words. We wish for you and all other recipients a bright future in your life ahead. So now we are going to the next session of our event. I request our President, Mr. Arnab Jha, to introduce our honorable speaker, Dr. Bhomik, and request him to deliver the memorial lecture. Mr. Jha, please.
It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Bhomik to all of you who will deliver the memorial lecture titled Environmental Awareness in Daily Life. Date of birth of Dr. Bhomik is 1940 on 18th April. He was from Noakhali, Undivided India, presently Bangladesh. The Bachelor of Electrical Engineering degree from Jadavpur University in 1962. His Master in Electrical Engineering degree from IIS Bangalore in 1965. PhD from Roorkee University, now IIT Roorkee. Served as faculty of Roorkee University in Electrical Engineering Department from 1965 to 1969. Served as Vice Principal of Institute of Paper Technology, Saharanpur, UP, which became became the department of the Roorkee University, now IIT Roorkee, from 1970 to 79. Joined Jalpaiguri Government Engineering College as principal in July 1980. In August 1985, joined Indian Engineering College, now NEET, Silchar, Assam. Thereafter joined as principal in Government College of Engineering Leather Technology, Kolkata in 1991, and he retired in April 2000. Thereafter, he worked with the regional office of AICTE, Calcutta for a short period. After this, he joined a private engineering college, Siliguri Institute of Technology, and served there till 2004. Very resourceful speaker, Dr. Bhomik has got a wide range of knowledge about the technological knowledge and technological education in India. I request Dr. Bhomik to deliver this speech.
A very good evening to all. I am very thankful to Mr. Arnab Jha for introducing me as an important personality and inviting me to deliver this lecture today. Well, before going into the lecture topic, I would like to say something about the arrangement. In my opinion, the present situation is not that problematic as far as COVID-19 is concerned. Accordingly, it is very possible to organize a meeting with full house, and it can easily be arranged also. Outstation members online can join. So in that case, it would have been much more interesting and attractive. And not only that, an arrangement for garlanding the photograph of Professor Moni Banerjee and paying our personal respect could have been arranged. Anyway, it is for the organizers to think and arrange in future. Well, when I was approached by Mr. Jha to deliver this lecture, I was rather doubtful whether I should do it or not. Anyway, on his request, I agreed. And it is very kind of him to agree to my request to choose the topic. And then of my own choice, I decided this topic because environment is undoubtedly a very important matter for consideration for everybody, for individuals, for organizations, industry, and everywhere in everyday life. So I thought that way, and accordingly, I have decided this. Now to go ahead with the subject, I think it will be worthwhile to first discuss what environment is, so that all the guests can appreciate, although we all have some idea what environment is. Now, its environment is related to every one of us, the earth. Now, to know more about it, let me take this slide. Here, if we think of where we are living on this earth. In Sanskrit, this also is referred to as khiti, earth surface, bhumital, whatever we may take it. Now, this earth surface is having two parts. A large part is water, and a smaller part is the land mass. Water in Sanskrit is also known as op. So these are the two components of Shiti. Then the next component on earth is the sun's ray and the energy, which in Sanskrit is written to as Tej. Somebody referred to this as Agni also. And the next component is obviously air or Vayu, which is referred to here as Marut. In fact, from Marut only, the car named Maruti has come. And the next is the space, Akash or Gom. So these five elements of Shiti, Tej, Marut, Bom. These five elements, I must say, is in our surrounding. And we use these every day. In fact, the first element, as I mentioned here, of water, is such a commodity. One starts using it right from the time of birth and uses it till he leaves this earth. And not only that, particularly in our Hindu rituals, even after death also, there are certain formalities wherein we use a lot of water. Then comes Not only that, water we use for many other purposes, for industrial use, in hospitals, and other than that, we use water to carry out puja, that is while worshipping our God. So is in fact a very useful commodity, a part of the earth. And then Kshiti, that is the earth surface. So on this earth surface, we put our footsteps and we carry out all our activities on this earth surface only. And not only that, we produce our foodstuff, carry out agricultural operation and commercial activities, the rail station, the airport, the seaport, whatnot. You cannot think of anything other than the earth surface or the Kshiti. Then Tej, that is energy. Well, there is no life without energy. Energy is undoubtedly a very important commodity, and we get it from the sun to start with. And for everything, for these days, for agricultural operations, for hospital use, for industries, for educational institutes, universities, energy is an important component. Not only that, in our body also, we need certain amount of electricity, at least to continue pumping of the heart. That also a form of energy only. In fact, without that, we cannot live, we cannot survive. You will be aware of the fact there are people who are living, so to say, a UPS, some uninterruptible power supply sort of thing as is used in computer. What in case of human being is said pacemaker. So that is the use of energy. There are other use as well. The next element is Marut or Vayu. Well, important of this element also is very well understood. One starts breathing the moment he is born, and as long as on this earth he has to breathe, and that is only with the help of Vayu or air. And the last component is the womb, is space. It is may not be very easy to appreciate the application or use of womb, but there are many, particularly this helps in communication, propagation of radio wave. Now this lecture is being transmitted to very many places throughout country, maybe outside as well. So that is with the help of that boom or the space. There are many other applications. Anyway, so these are the 5 elements, physical elements. That is how this is known as Panchabhut. So this, our surrounding is made up of Panchabhut. Now the surrounding of Earth is divided into 5, mainly 5, that is troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. This ionosphere extends from mesosphere to exosphere. It is full of ions. This name has been derived, say, troposphere. It has been derived from the Greek language, tropos and spira. Tropos means rotation and spira means sphere. Like that, all other stratos and spira, meso and spira. Meso means the middle. This is the middle one, 2 on this side and 2 on this side. This is extended over 3 regions. And this is full of ions. These ions are available from the solar radiation and from outer space. This is how it is shown. Troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, exosphere. Ionosphere is not specifically shown here, but it is all around this globe, surrounded. This is only a part shown, and say it is balloons here, aircraft here, space vehicle here, all that. So this, and we human beings are standing on this surface of the earth. So this troposphere is the first layer, then is the stratosphere, then mesosphere. This is meso means middle. This is just in the middle, 2 on this side, 2 on the other side. Thermosphere, this is very warm, very hot, and exosphere is outer space, as we call it. So this is all about what is surrounding us. So human being is here as if he is also a part of this its system and is surrounded altogether. And is a part of it, and nobody can extricate him from this structure. He is a part of this structure, and as if surrounded all around. The word here, it shows the distance, how far from the earth. The first is up to 12 kilometers, next is 50 kilometers, next is 80 kilometers, and next is 700 kilometers, and the exosphere is 700,000 kilometers onwards. And here it is shown here. Cloud is formed here, sonde is here, meteors here, spacecraft, satellite, and all that. This is the Earth's surface, human being here, and surrounded by this whole structure. The word environment, now we can come to the definition of environment. The word environment is derived from the French word environner, 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 which means to surround or to encircle. So, as I said, as if the structure is encircling the human being, that is how this word environment has been derived from this French word, which is var. There is another word very commonly used in environmental studies, ambience. It has been derived from the Latin word ambire, A-M-B-I-R-E, which means to move around. Similar meaning almost. So these two words derived from the two languages are very commonly used in environmental studies and is known to everybody. The environner, English is like that, but it's actually the French word is pronounced environner, and the Latin word ambire. So this is all about the etymology of the word environment. It is something we are constant companion. This is our constant companion. I started this way that I thought let us, because environmental studies and all that is known to all technologists, everybody knows. So that is why I thought, let me introduce this way. Anyway, so this is all about a definition of environment. Now that, as I have explained, these 5 elements are very important for our living. In fact, we are using it every day without being aware of it, most probably. Naturally, its quality is very important, and we should all be aware about its quality and try to see that quality is maintained. Now, what about its quality? The quality is explained by a Rigbed sloka, as is shown here. Madhu vataritayate madhu sharadhi sindhava madhirna santoshadhi madhu naktam utoshashi madhu mat parthiva raja madhu doirastu na pita madhu manno vanaspati madhuma ustu surja madhir gavo bhavantu na. This actually explains about the quality of all the 5 elements. Madhu vataritayate means the air that is flowing around should be honey-like. Madhu sharanti sindhava. Sindhava here means the river. So the flowing water in the river should be like honey. Madhirna santoshadhi. Santoshadhi means Oshadhi is a type of plant. In Sanskrit, it's called gulmo. It is those plants which dies after its fruit is mature. For example, rice straw. After the paddy is fully ready, its plant is finished, is the last. So those are known as santoshadhi. That should also be providing us honey-like products, that is our food. Madhu naktam shashi, this morning and days should be honey-like. Madhumat parthiva raja, that is the dust of the earth, again should be honey-like. Madhu doirastu na pita. From heaven, our forefathers should drop honey for us. Madhuvanno vanaspati. Vanaspati, we all know, the trees, the forest, that should also provide madhu-like products for our use. Madhuma ustu surja. The solar radiation also should be honey-like. Madhir gavo bhavantuna. The milk that we get from the cow should be like the heavenly nectar. So this, in fact, speaks about all those 5 elements of environment. Not only that, something more. So this is very clear or easily understandable that these are the things that we need for our daily use, and their quality should be as good as pure natural honey. Well, if it is not there, or it should be our outlook to maintain this so that everybody can use it without any problem. So nobody should face any problem in using this as far as the quality is concerned. Now, this is there in Vedas, Upanishad. These days, from our technologists or scientists, they also said, I mean, they have also specified the safety limits for all these elements like water, the soil, the air. So that safety limits has to be observed if we want a healthy life. That is the teaching of our Veda Upanishad. Long back, our forefathers written this, but now we are trying to copy from the Western technology exactly these guidelines only. Anyway, whether we follow it from our literature or from the Western technology, it has to be followed, and the environment has to be maintained as good as possible so that we can have a healthy life. Now, the next part is about maintaining this quality. Where is the guideline, or where is the guideline for the maintain in our daily life, as I have mentioned in the heading of the lecture. In this respect, I would like to mention one thing. Well, as far as this, everybody performs some puja daily in the houses. So let us see what puja means. What is puja? In Gita, Sri Krishna, while advising Arjuna, talked about it. What is puja? It is mentioned this way: Patrang pushpang phalang toyam yo me bhaktya prajachati tadaham bhakto pritamashnami pradatmanah. It means patra, pushpa, fall, toyam means jal or up. So patrang pushpang phalang toyam yo me bhaktya prajachati means whoever offers me that with respect, tadahang bhaktu paritashnami padatmanah, I accept those offerings, I eat that, and in fact that is puja. So what we need, if I am a religious minded man, perform puja regularly. So puja means offering this materials, that is patra, pushpa, phal, jal. Where from I get that? I get it from my environment. So this is rather pertinent that if I am to perform puja, I must have them, and I must have them of good quality, and then only I can perform the puja. Otherwise, there can be no puja. So in fact, not only for simple living, if I want to perform my religious practice regularly and properly, so there also I have to depend on my environment. In other words, it should be, or it is rather binding on me that I maintain my environment properly so that I can get these things. Not only that, there are further guidance. In puja, as I said, water is used, and there is a practice before using that water for puja. There is a mantra for Jal Shuddhi. Normally it is said for puja you get Ganges water, Ganga Jal. But that Ganga Jal is not always available everywhere. Therefore, wherever that Ganga Jal is not available, the water that you will be using for puja, that should be brought to the level of Ganga Jal. How? There is a mantra for that. Gange cha Jamuna chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jale Ashmin Sannidhim Kuru. It means whatever water I am going to use for my puja, it should be brought to the level of Ganga Jal or Ganga or Godavari or Kaveri, and all those 7 rivers which are considered as holy in our literature, religious literature or philosophical literature, whatever it may be. So, but the thing is, mere chanting of mantras will not purify the water. It is again to make one aware that one should be conscious about the quality of the water that he is using. So that is how in our daily activities, in fact, normally one performs puja 3 times, that is called Trisandha. So if one is uttering these mantras 3 times a day, it will be in his mind permanently that he should be conscious about the quality of the material he is using for puja. So that is how I believe the steps for awareness. It is important is awareness. If one is aware, then only he will take care of the environment. And why all this? Again, our Vedopanishad has advised us to think good for everybody. It's like this: Sarveshang Shasti Bhavati, Sarveshang Shantir Bhavati, Sarveshang Purnang Bhavatu, Sarveshang Madgalang Bhavatu, Sarve Bhavantu Shukhina, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhagam Bhavet. Means everybody should be happy, everybody should be happy, everybody should be nirog, free from illness, and ma kaschit dukkha bhag. Nobody should have any suffering. So this feeling or thinking for good of all or for the society as a whole is again the guidance towards awareness of consciousness. So one should be aware about his activities. That is how the environment will be maintained by everybody's attempt as a social movement. Now, how that is possible? What is the step for that? Once again, I will quote a Ishopanishad slok which says, Ishavasya vedam sarvam jatkincha jagattang jagat tena taktena bhunjitha magridaha kasyachid dhanam. It means whatever things are available for consumption of one, that everybody will be consuming, but how? Tena taktena bhunjitha means you should enjoy it with a spirit of renunciation or sacrifice. In other words, not with the idea of consuming everything by myself. The bare minimum should be consumed and sufficient should be left for others, for the future generation. That is important. That is why tena taktenya bhunjitha. And magridha kasyachit dhanam. Magridha kasyachit dhanam means don't be greedy about others' wealth. So think of others. Now here is an interesting similarity. In Sanskrit, gridha means love, lust. In English also, GRWD, greed, same meaning. Very interesting similarity. Anyway, ma gridha kasyachit dhanam. Don't be greedy about others' wealth. So that is an important teaching. That is what we have from our forefathers through Veda, Upanishad and all these books. Now the last sloka that I have said, ma gridha kasyachit dhanam and ishavasya idam sarvam jatkinchi jagattang jagat. The same thing has now been introduced through our modern technology for waste treatment. Now, before coming to this waste treatment, I would like to mention here, our living process is such, whether we want it or not, we always produce some waste. We take food for our livelihood from nature, and the whole of it is not absorbable in the human body. We absorb some useful part and reject some useless part. So it is continuously going on. So that waste has to be treated properly. Otherwise, waste will be a heap and the environment will be polluted, so to say, may not be livable. So on this aspect, the modern technology says the principle of 3R, which says reuse, reduce, recycle. This is about the waste. As I said, this waste, wherever possible, it should be reused, and production waste should be reduced, and then possibly, wherever possible, recycle. Now, in this context, this waste, reuse, and recycle, I can tell you one instance. I mean, it is there at many places. Here is a place near Jayanagar, Nimpit, one ashram. So in their guest house, they have a biogas plant where they are connected. They have connected the guest house toilet, the dairy, the output of dairy, that is the cow dung, and kitchen waste, waste food, waste vegetables, vegetable peels and everything. All these are going into the biogas plant, and the gas is produced. That gas is used for cooking in the guest house. And after the gas production, whatever is left, they are processing this to organic manure, and they are supplying to the local farmers. Not only that, they have their own farm also. They use it. So that is how the waste, reuse, and recycle is being practiced. In fact, this practice is now large scale being employed in many places and should be more encouraged from all concerned, so that the problem of pollution is reduced. So this 3-hour principle has been further extended to the 5 hours. This 5 hour, one is refuse. Refuse means refuse to accept more than whatever you need. And reduce, of course, reduce your consumption level, reduce waste production. And reuse, wherever is possible, reuse, then repurpose means the methodology of use may be redefined and reduce wherever possible, and finally recycle. So that is how the waste has to be handled and the environmental degradation should be controlled. Otherwise, living will not be a comfortable. Therefore, it is desirable that we should all think in these lines and try to follow the teachings of Vedopanishad, also of this modern technological practices, and in one word, waste reduction and maintaining the atmosphere or environment so that healthy living is possible on earth. So this is further explained. Refuse, learn, say to no to things you don't need. Reduce, donate or sell, let up go of things that are no longer of use. Reuse, switch disposable items for reusable and permanent alternatives. Recycle, sort your waste correctly and minimize what you said to landfill or waste dumps. Then compost, own household waste or take part in composting program for organic waste. So that completes this 5-hour cycle. So these days, these are being followed in many places. For example, Pune municipality, they have set up municipal waste reuse and power generation. Like that in Maharashtra, there are many more coming up. So that is how this everybody in our daily life as well as in corporate life, in industrial organizations, this use of material, then disposal of materials, controlling the waste and reusing the waste. So if these are properly followed, then only the environment can be maintained for a comfortable living. So with that, I complete my talk. And once again, I thank the organizer for providing me the opportunity to share my thinking. And those who have attended today's meeting, gave patient hearing, I thank them also. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Dr. Bhomik. Exhaustive lecture. You may remember, it will be remembered throughout our life. Thank you very much. Now I request
Thank you.
Mr. Susanta Mallick to propose the vote of thanks.
To Mr. Jha. Now we are at the end of today's event. First of all, on behalf of Indian Leather Technology Association, I express hearty thanks to Dr. Bhomik, today's honorable speaker, for delivering an extremely interesting Professor Moni Banerjee Memorial Lecture. His deliberation nicely described the links between Vedic slokas and the environments and its impact in daily life. The association will remain grateful to you, sir. On the subject organizing the lecture physically or on digital platform or combination of both could have been done, and I agree that it could have been more interesting. But this has happened only because of the transition phase we are passing through, especially in psychological front. However, if the situation remained like this, all events in future will be organized physically along with digital platform. However, thanks for your suggestion, sir. We express our hearty thanks to all the award winners. Congratulate all of you and wish all the success in your life. We are also grateful to daughter of Professor Moni Banerjee, Dr. Chandana Sarkar, and his son-in-law, Mr. Gopal Chatterjee, for being present today like every year. It acts as a source of motivation, madam. Lastly, we thank all the participants from different corners of India and different parts of the world for being present today and to pay homage to Professor Banerjee. Thanks to all of you once again.